another episode of the Hypercoach podcast. Of course, I'm the host. I am the host. I'm the one, the only Safa Al Chami. And Assalamu Alaikum, brothers and sisters. Of today, we are diving into the topic that touches the core of the human experience. What is that? The intricacy of a relationship and what it means. And yes, none other than me. I'm going to bring you this topic along with scenarios and ways to elevate your relationship. Now, I actually came across this subject by accident. I was just there in a nikah and I heard the sheikh speak about this specific topic, and it really, really helped me widen my perspective about what relationships are and what it takes to have a successful relationships. And the best way is I'm going to bring it to you to integrate and your Islamic principles to nurture and strengthen your bond between you and your partner. Whether you're looking to renew your connection with your person of choice or build the foundation of love, trust, and understanding, these 5 C's are essential elements to help flourish your relationships. What are the 5 C's? Have you ever heard of these 5 C's? Not entirely sure. Well, let's start with the first C, which is commitment. In any relationship, commitment means that it's a little bit more than just being physically present. It's the devotion that goes beyond a surface level interaction. Commitment in the Islamic context is deeply rooted in the concept of nikah, which is a marriage. It's a sacred bond that carries the rights and responsibilities, which we need to remind ourselves when we're entering into a relationship, because when people get it wrong, it's because their rights and their responsibilities are kind of getting intertwined and people are just getting all muddled up. It's quite basic. It's quite simple. And let me explain to you a little bit how about the rights and responsibilities affect different relationships. Your relationships as a man and a woman, you have certain rights and certain responsibilities. If you create a profound connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, putting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his rights and responsibilities and the rules on your relationships, then it's less likely to get something muddled up. Okay? So remembering the love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should be present within your relationship. We say if that is not present, the relationship's foundation is a little bit rocky and there's nothing sustainable there. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam prescribed marriage as completing half of our faith. So let's think about that for the moment. It's a profound reminder that the dedication that we owe to one another in a marriage, it completes half of our deen. What does that mean? It's half of your deen. It's the enhancement of the commitment. So to enhance the commitment, one technique that you must use is setting shared goals together with your partner. It's going to help you feel aligned, allowing you to both feel committed to one another. It could be just as simple as making time for each other daily, to praying together, to planning for future aspirations. If you want to do Umrah together, if you want to go on a holiday together, if you're working towards a goal together, if you want to build a family together, how many children do you have? And this shared vision strengthens the commitment by giving both something to look forward to. It gives you an aim. It gives you a tunnel vision. It gives you that light at the end of the tunnel. And that's what we want in a relationship. Because what happens is people lose their spark. It starts to become boring. It starts becoming mediocre. And people start to get like what we call in business called shiny ball syndrome. Like, oh, something good's over here. Oh, something good's over here. So we want tunnel vision in a relationship. Moving towards a goal together and having shared goals is going to help you with that. The second C is communication. Communication. Do I need to say that again? Communication. Does anyone know what that means? No, not comprehension. Not completely ignore what the other people has to say. No, not avoid. No, communication. Clear, compassionate, and honest communication is the heart of a successful relationship. Islam emphasizes the kindness in words and actions, reminding us that even a smile can be a form of charity. A smile, a simple smile, because it's a gesture that takes a little bit more. It's something that comes fluent, it comes easy, and that's why it's a form of charity. It allows the other person, see, when you smile, you're more likely to get the other person to smile, and that's a form of charity. So when your children see you and the mother smiling, you're also going to get them to smile. It's like, oh, we should all be smiling. It's somewhat contagious. It's effective in building all communication. So not all communication is actually through like your words. It's your body communication. Your body language can speak as well. So we want to imagine the impact of thoughtful and gentle communication in a relationship. A helpful technique to practice here is active listening, a skill that allows us to truly hear and understand your partner's perspective without judgment, my brothers and sisters. May I say that again? Without judgment. When conflict arises, and it will, more times than you can count, we want to pause for a moment saying, I hear you and I understand your feelings. Not you're crazy, not you need help, not you're a psychopath and a narcissist that needs psychological help. No. I hear you and I understand your feelings. The jewel. Do you hear the jewel right there? I hear you and I understand your feelings. If you say this and you lead with this, you're going to create a safe space for your spouse. It's going to reduce the chance of misunderstandings escalating. I hear you. I understand you. The Qur'an teaches us to speak with kindness, and that's present in the Surah Al-Baqarah 283. Encourages us to choose words that uplift and nurture rather than harm. Do I need to teach you the essence of validating one another's feelings, or do I need to teach you the forefront of gaslighting, my friends? Do not gaslight. You are more likely to make an impact validating than you are gaslighting. Okay? And not everyone who gaslights you is a narcissist. I'm so sorry. I'm going to go, not happening. Okay, I will say this again. I hear you. I understand. Repeat after me. I hear you. I understand. These are words of validation, creating a safe space and active listening, my friends. That's why it's so special. That's why it's so special in the rapport building phase of therapy as well. I hear you. I understand you. I understand your feelings. I can see your perspective. I resonate with that. I understand. You get it. All right, great. We can move on. Third C is compassion. Compassion is the ability to feel empathy and show genuine concern for your partner's well-being. In Islamic tradition, the bond between spouses is described as one with tranquility, mercy, and affection. Mawadda al-rahmah. This compassion should be woven daily. It means it needs to be worked on daily. It's not going to be hit one day here and 3 years later it's going to happen again. No, its presence is comforting with consistency. This compassion should be woven into daily life, whether it's through small acts of kindness, thoughtful gestures, or simply being in a comfortable presence. One practical way to increase compassion in relationships is through the technique of mirroring. When your partner shares a feeling or a need, reflect back what they're saying with warmth and understanding. This is how your partner feels seen, heard, valued, and able to feel that compassion between you. And you must lead through example, my friends. The fourth C is compromise. Relationships are required to give and take. Not take, not give. No, give and take. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ emphasized the balance and ease in life. And this applies to relationships as well. Compromise doesn't mean giving up your needs entirely. It does mean finding middle ground that respects both partners' perspectives. To practice compromise, consider giving a little and getting a little. So give a little, get a little technique, which is a situation where you and your partner have different views and express their needs and needs to theirs. So then each one of them needs to suggest a small concession where this approach shows mutual respect and makes each person feel like they're an equal partner in the decision making. No one's always right. No one's always wrong. It's either you agree to agree or disagree to disagree or agree to disagree or disagree to agree. This is what we have to be really mindful of in relationships. And I think this is where people kind of get wrong. No, if you're a woman, you're not always right. And no, if you're a man, you're not always right. Someone has to be kind of willing to compromise somewhere, see middle ground, see eye to eye somewhere. And you got to be okay with being wrong. You also got to be okay with being right, with the other person being right. Okay. Finally, the fifth C is consistency. Consistency builds trust. It reinforces security in the relationships And Islam values the quality of steadfast, as the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ taught us small love, regular actions, and staying consistent. When you're consistent in your love and appreciation and intention, you create a foundation that withstands life's challenges. To practice consistency, try establishing small daily rituals with your partner. It could be something as simple as sending a morning dua for their well-being, expressing gratitude, complimenting them, making time for weekly check-ins. And these rituals don't have to be grand. It can be regular in small instances. Something like getting a cup of coffee. I've spoken about this before on the love languages episode. Small gestures, but consistent ones. They're the ones that are going to be easier and more able to make habit, okay? To sum up the 5 C's of a successful relationship: commitment, communication, compassion, compromise, and consistency. They're like pillars of a strong foundation. They're not just actions, but they're expressions of love and respect that can bring immense barakah, which is a blessing to your relationship. By nurturing these qualities, we not only grow closer to our partner, but we also honor our connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator of love and harmony. Along with this, I'm going to give you a little bit of a technique that you can do with your significant other. You're going to go get a book, a journal, a whiteboard, whatever you find in front of you, and each of you are going to write their first 5 values: honesty, respect, compassion, harmony, love, protection, integrity. You write these all down, and that will give you a surefire way to analyze what each of you value in the relationship and where your disagreements are going. It's quite interesting, this technique in specific, because if your values are aligned, you'll know. And if your values are unaligned, you'll know. This is one that I do with my couples in therapy. Yes, if you want to come to therapy, this is one of the techniques that we take with us. Grab your values, put them on a sheet of paper or a whiteboard. The first 5, see if you're aligned, see if you're not. If they're not aligned, what do you guys need to do to make them aligned? If they're completely aligned, how can you further so that way your relationship can flourish? You can teach these to your children, and your values will change and ebb and flow throughout the intricacies of life. We have to be consistent with that. We have to understand that. And let's be honest here, guys, no relationship is perfect. No relationship is right and wrong. Just because someone has an Instagram perfect relationship doesn't make it so, okay? We want to get out of the facade, the delulu lifestyle of being online. No relationship is perfect. No relationship is a surefire way. There are going to be adversities along the way that you as a spouse and couple have to get through. And that's what keeps you in the game. I will also add to this that it's hard to stay in a relationship, but it's also hard to get out of a relationship. So pick your hard, okay? It takes a big person with big goals to make the relationship work, okay? So it takes a person with big ones to make the relationship work, okay? It's easy to go, I'm out, okay? Of course, as always, I thank you for tuning into this Hype Coach podcast episode. I hope these insights and techniques bring more light and more newness and strength into your relationships. Remember, a successful relationship is not only one that is built on love, but on the willingness to grow together. Until next time, may your hearts be filled with peace, with love, and with blessings. Assalamu Alaikum. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Hype Coach podcast. If you did enjoy this podcast episode, please share it on your socials. You can find me on IG, Safa Al Chami, TikTok, The Al Chami Life, and you can book a personal therapy package at my website, www.thehypecoach.com.au. I look forward to working with you. Let's grow.